Popcorn and Pictures podcast.
Welcome to another episode of Popcorn and Pictures with your host, Sam Karpinski, and your co-host, Jose Mendoza.
It's me. It's Jose Mendoza. Shoot, I don't know if I actually recorded that. I'm not seeing any audio waves for the last
Well,
statement.
Maybe you better speak up. Jose just wanted to let everybody know
Okay.
that he's alive and well and doing great. He appreciates all the well wishes. Most people probably don't know he was terribly sick, but he was. And you can't change my mind. He was terribly ill. Anyway.
Sick of Christmas.
Yeah, he had a little holiday hangover, not from too much to eat, but just too much Christmas.
Is this our first time recording after the holiday season, or did we record before?
I'm pretty sure we recorded before. Didn't we record earlier in the month? Yeah,
we did, but I don't know if that was in 2026 or 2025.
Well, if it was earlier,
Way,
if it was earlier in the month, it was in 2026.
Yeah, I guess it was. Yeah. The holiday seasons are intense. I'm not.
It's true. It's true. I'm a fan of certain aspects, but not others. And that's why we're going to be doing this much more regular now that we're finally out of the holiday cheer, holiday bustle.
Yeah.
We're gonna get things right and really start cranking out some movie reviews and munching some popcorn and enjoying cinema in all its glory.
Getting diabetes.
Yeah, what's more American than that?
True. But for real, it's weird. I know it's just a number, but it really does feel like crunch time at the end of the year. It's really weird. It really does feel like the end of the year, just trying to get so much done in such a little amount of time. But we survived. We're here. Barely making it through. News that we're gonna reveal right now: the Seahawks are going.
No,
and that breaks my.
I didn't want to. I hadn't seen the movie yet. I hadn't watched the game. That was a spoiler. Jeez, why'd you do that?
So you don't have to watch the previous seasons. You could watch this season and you'll be fine. I'm learning that with sports. No pre-knowledge on the previous season. You could just pick up from where it's at right now, and you'll catch up.
All I know is that the 49ers lost to the Seahawks, and by rationale, right, that usually means people want you to be beat by the best. So that would be the Seahawks.
Not me. I want to see the Patriots.
No, I agree. I agree. I never like that rationale. Like, for example, when the Giants lost to the Dodgers in 2021,
exactly.
There was no way I was going to be rooting for the Dodgers to go all the way.
Yeah, exactly. That's me right now with the Seahawks. I can't stand the Seahawks.
Well,
they always. I feel like they always take the championship.
What's a fun kind of underrated football movie that's kind of about football, but not really? It's more just kind of a vehicle for a rom-com.
What? I'm not. Is it Silver Linings Playbook?
No. Does Silver Linings Playbook have football elements to it, interlaced throughout the story?
I know Bradley Cooper wears like a Philadelphia Eagles jersey throughout the film, but I'm not sure if that's related.
I don't think so. Here's the thing.
Fan.
I was thinking of the Leatherheads movie with Renee Zellweger and George Clooney, who's the star of Jay Kelly, a recent Oscar snub or rightful admission, depending on who you believe. Jay Kelly, Jay Kelly is kind of I never cared about Jay Kelly. I watched the movie. It's about an aging movie star and kind of him coming to grips with his career accomplishments, lack thereof, his relationships with his kids. And that's it. It's basically like a fictionalized version of George Clooney.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's basically what it's about. It's about I don't want to say just kind of a very successful actor at the end of his career, reflecting on his life. I thought I want to talk about this because I feel like there was a lot of similarities between Jay Kelly and Sentimental Value, which we're going to talk in a few minutes.
Interesting.
But yeah, I was kind of excited. I was kind of excited to see this because I do like Noah Baumbach. I really kind of was drawn towards him with a Marriage Story back in 2019, and
Which was that? Am I
hate to
blanking out? Was that his most recent film, or was there something in between?
No, there was something in between, but the name is slipping my mind right now. But the thing is, George Clooney was kind of the reason why I wasn't really enthusiastic about the film because arguably a good actor, but just I feel like he's always playing the same character. He's always playing himself rather, and Jay Kelly is no exception. In fact, so I noticed in all of our episodes we get into spoilers really early on into the reviews, but I'm gonna say it right now, it's not really a spoiler, but at the end of the movie, the character Jay Kelly is watching a montage of his career, but what he's watching is actual performances from George Clooney, not Jay Kelly, of the movies I've been in the past. So I think I could have sworn I saw like Ocean's 11 and some other projects I've been in. Yeah, which is kind of funny.
I mean, it was
in a bad
way. It was kind of a cute cheat, I guess, story cheat, in terms of like, if your story is about that, then why wouldn't you just use some of the footage from his movies? But I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's partially because I'm not a huge George Clooney fan, and it's not like I've had. I haven't seen like that extensive of his filmography that was to the degree it was shown on screen in Jay Kelly. So maybe it's just more a matter of that. But I mean, you're supposed to feel kind of this emotional moment at the end of it as he's watching and reacting to the montage of his past on-screen roles, and it didn't land for me. I didn't care about Jay Kelly at all. I never really got at a point where it felt like the script was giving me a reason to care about him as a character,
Yeah. So I kind of disagree. I feel like there was moments in the film that I was gelling with. In my review, I said that I really enjoyed the first 40 minutes because if you remember, the first 40 minutes, a scene that I thought was interesting and that I enjoyed watching was his old college classmate approaches him on the street. This kind of awkward confrontation, like, "Hey, like I haven't seen you in a while," and it's almost like this classmate's trying to push himself back into Jay Kelly's life, and then it's revealed later that he is actually a little upset that Jay Kelly is where he is today because the classmate saw himself in the position that Jay Kelly's in right now, and then eventually in the movie you actually see that previous history reveal itself when he's auditioning for a role, and then Jay Kelly ends up taking that role. All of that was interesting, but it's almost like the story keeps going on,
and they barely touch on that
interest in the story
after it, other than paying basically lip service to it and just acknowledging it happened. So I think that was the most interesting part of the movie, and it basically went nowhere.
Well, another thing too, and again, bringing ties to Sentimental Value, I'm kind of confused on what this man's role was in Jay Kelly's life, but I think he was a director that Jay Kelly worked closely with, and he was trying to get funding for a movie. He could only get it if Jay Kelly takes on the role, but Jay Kelly's a little hesitant. And all of that was interesting too, because it's revealed, this happens like 20 minutes in the movie, that character, the director, dies, and Jay Kelly is a little guilty that he didn't take on that role. And I thought I was going to like this movie by the end, but it's almost like so much happens and not enough is given where I could care about Jay Kelly's life. So that's kind of I don't know. It's almost like the movie goes on for far too long.
It's much too long. But by the same token, I mean, I'm saying it's too long, but also I don't know exactly what I would have them cut. It's just because so much of the movie feels like fluff.
to your point, I feel like I'd cut a lot of the Europe
Mhm.
stuff, and it's kind of funny
Doesn't it?
because Adam Sandler has this.
I'm sorry.
Go
Doesn't
ahead.
it shift to Europe like pretty quickly, like within the first 45 minutes or so?
So funny enough, I remember looking at the timeline. It happens like around the. I could be totally wrong, but I remember it happening
Okay.
around the 40
Yeah.
minute mark. Yeah, because the movie's like
It's like
what? Let
2
me double
hours
check
and
this. I
20
think it's over
minutes or something like
2 hours.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that.
Which I don't
I'm
know
not
if I
saying.
told you, I stopped it halfway through and took a break because I was just losing interest in it for so long. I still finished it that night, but I just couldn't watch it continuously because I was just so bored.
It is one of those movies. I don't know what about it kept me going through it because I kind of felt the same way, but I decided to kind of finish it. Maybe I had nothing to do that evening, but going back to the Europe aspect when they're kind of exploring Europe, and by they I'm referring to Jay Kelly and Adam Sandler's character. A lot of the movie kind of felt like so. There's kind of an internet rumor happening that Adam Sandler takes on roles in movies so he could go on vacation and take his family.
I
So
like it.
have you heard
I
this
think I
before?
have. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why all those movies are horrible because the movie isn't the priority. It's Adam Sandler taking a vacation. Um, I'll talk about Adam Sandler in a second, but the movie kind of feels like let's just go to Europe and have fun almost.
Yeah.
Um, but there again, there are some because reflecting on it, there are some scenes I like. The scene where Jake Kelly's on the train, he's kind of interacting with not citizens but like tourists, and it's almost like him kind of stripping away his fame and going back to the real world talking to people. I thought that was interesting, but again, to your point, good scenes doesn't really make a good movie because it does lose that steam by the end
Yeah.
of it all.
It was, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, even that was like a weird like climax to that, uh, I guess, sequence or portion of the movie is that, he runs after this guy who just randomly stole this old woman's bag.
Oh yeah.
And the guy is somebody that the film had already introduced about like, I don't know, maybe 8 minutes prior or something to it as one of the people getting on the train with him and like noticing, and there was nothing to indicate anything strange with that guy, any way, shape, or form. And then it suddenly cuts to him stealing it, and then once it becomes this whole big set piece where George Clooney as Jay Kelly is going, like, feels compelled to do something. He starts running after him. As the train stopped, he chases the guy into this field while the train stopped next to the tracks, and like runs him down, grabs him his bag. He's like hailed as a hero, and then you find out, oh, the guy he's chasing down was like having like a manic episode,
Right.
and
Yeah.
then he kind of like feels a little bad about it all because he's being hailed as this hero when the guy was just going through basically a medical episode, which was interesting, but there's nothing really capitalized on it. It also just felt random. It's like, what is this supposed to show? Like it felt weird. It didn't feel, it was meant to be obviously like some story beat where like he really is kind of emotional, seeing like what people are dealing with in real life, but it didn't really land at all and just came off weird.
Yeah. It begs the question, what's the point of that scene? Because you're right. Jay Kelly doesn't really face any consequences besides guilt that is kind of brushed off scenes after. I looked up because it really feels like the film feels like a tribute to George Clooney, to the point where I thought maybe George Clooney actually wrote the script about himself, but it's kind of weird that Noah Baumbach and his co-writer wrote this movie because it really feels like it was pandered
to George Clooney
to celebrate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, who else would have fit in the role besides George Clooney?
Yeah, I wonder if it's supposed to. Well, because I remember you mentioned like Brad Pitt kind of has the same thing where he plays himself. I can't quite see Brad Pitt in this role though, so I wonder if it's meant to celebrate this idea. Maybe the screenplay is meant to celebrate this idea of like a
It
suave,
it
charismatic
reminded me. It
Hollywood
reminded
type.
me. It left me with a similar feeling as Best Picture nominee from last year's Oscars. Shoot, why am I blanking out on it? But A Complete Unknown. There we go. In the sense that in that case it was about a real life figure, Bob Dylan, but in this case it's about a fictional figure named Jay Kelly. But same problem in that I couldn't, I felt like I was being told why this person is important or why they're interesting, but I never like really actually got that. They never really connected with me, and I never really cared, and it just felt like, like this is to what you were saying, like this is about like the idea of him, but it's like, okay, I don't care about him though. Like, so I don't even care about the idea of him.
And while we're comparing the two, which is kind of an interesting comparison, Complete Unknown is about, arguably one of the best folk musicians of all time. At the end of his career, he's not dead, but he's at the end of it. George Clooney has still a lot of career left. It's kind of weird that they're doing it at this point of his life. I don't think he's going to retire soon. He's too.
Also
he doesn't seem like a. He doesn't seem like
also that's soon, the other thing. I mean, this is just me. I think George Clooney's overrated. Sorry, George. Bob Dylan, I don't think is overrated. The movie about him may be overrated, but he himself and his music is not overrated at all. So
heavily. What do you think about? Because we're going to talk about the Oscars soon. There was kind of discussions that Adam Sandler would finally get a nomination.
Yeah, so I thought he was good, but I don't know, like he was competent. Like it's not like a role that he blew me away, like in say Uncut Gems or Punch Drunk Love, where like he's really like playing something pretty different than what he's typically known for in films, from a persona standpoint. So I don't know. I mean, he was fine, but I'll have to, we can get into it once we look at the Oscar nominations, but I'm pretty sure most of the Oscar nominees in his category and what would have been his prospective category are much more deserving. It felt like I don't know. It felt like one of those movies where it's like, this is gonna be a weird comparison, but you know how Harry Styles in Dunkirk like is good enough to where you don't really, unless you're really kind of keyed in, you don't really pay attention to the fact that it's Harry Styles in Dunkirk. It's just he's actually solid in the role. Kind of felt like that with Adam Sandler, except Adam Sandler in terms of acting is a much bigger name than Harry Styles. And so the fact that he was competent, I feel like isn't that high of a praise.
Right. I think what I said in my review is I think I might have glorified Sandler's performance a little too much, because I think what I meant to say was Adam Sandler's story in the movie was far more interesting than George Clooney's story. But in hindsight, I'm like, he didn't really do anything that was out of the ordinary. It feels like one of those moments where, it's like Adam Sandler's doing something different. Is that worthy of praise? Not really. Not at least for this role. But I do like his outfit, though, going back to clothing.
Is that why your camera's turned off? Because you're changing clothes to match his fit?
Exactly.
I knew it.
Yeah.
So, very cool. Very cool. Should I turn my camera off too?
Yeah, why not? Let's get naked.
Anyway, so the bottom line with Jake Kelly, I didn't care. It's one of those films where it's not like outrageously bad or anything, but it's just, I didn't feel anything. It didn't do a good enough job making me care about the actual story at hand. So
yeah, I agree.
Jay Kelly, worthy Oscar snub, what I say.
Yeah, I think I really thought if it was going to get anything, it was going to get best supporting
Yeah.
actor, just to kind of just celebrate Adam Sandler for like his career. I thought it was gonna be one of those what's the word I'm looking for? I guess reluctant award or nomination. But
It's a trophy.
yeah, it's
It's a
not really
trophy award.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
literally
Yeah.
just there to
But
hand you the trophy, so you have an excuse to hand you the trophy. Yeah.
yeah, right. But I don't know. I gave it so are we going to ratings
Of Jay
or
Kelly?
should we talk about it more? I'm kind of done
Yeah, Jay
talking about
Kelly.
it. Quite frankly.
I think my rating landed almost exactly to what my thoughts are, and it's a nice 5 of 10.
Okay. I gave it a 6 out of 10. Although I think it's more of a 5 out of 10. Because looking back on it, I was able to remember those first few scenes in the movie that really hooked
Okay.
me. So I think I'm just kind of giving it a I'm giving credit where credit's due. I was entertained, but I don't think I'm gonna remember this a year from now. And the worst thing of it all is I don't think I ever want to rewatch it. So I might bring it down to a 5 out of 10.
You should.
Unfortunately,
That's the right call.
yeah, yeah. Which is a shame because Noah Baumbach, he is I like
Which,
him.
by
I
the
like
way, I
his
looked
work,
up
but
the in between film was White Noise, also on Netflix. Yeah,
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 there it is. I, I was gonna say like green noise or something, but I guess white noise makes
I like
sense.
Green
So
Noise
I don't know why.
though. Maybe that's
Yeah,
the sequel. Okay, so
sure.
now why we talk about an Oscar snub, why don't we talk about an Oscar nominee? That
Let's do it.
that is Sentimental Value, which you recently finally
Sentimental
saw,
value.
and I saw much earlier. I saw it when it like first came out. Um,
Hmm.
Up to this moment, it's my favorite film of the year. It is one of those Academy films that, or Academy nominated films that also happens to deal with the industry, but unlike say like Jay Kelly, which really deals with an aspect of the industry, this feels very much like the industry really is in service of the underlying story rather than it just being about a film director and his actress daughter. Um,
I don't think I understand what you mean by that. Can you like elaborate a little bit more?
Jay Kelly feels like it's very much like specifically somewhat geared to celebrate a specific aspect of film industry. In this case, acting, as embodied by George Clooney. Sentimental Value
Right.
doesn't
Okay.
feel, even though it's about a director and basically like making his one of his like final films, presumably, or like his comeback film. It never that's never really what the movie is about. That's just a vehicle for what the movie is about.
Okay. Interesting. Um, I don't know. I kind of disagree. I feel like the movie's kind of focusing on like what it, I guess, because I mean I don't know this lifestyle, but what from my understanding, if you're a film director, you're like gone from your family for a big chunk of it. I've
Uh-huh.
heard that from like Spielberg. There's a film director named Terrence Malick who I believe he took a break because he felt like he was losing his family. And then the director for Sentimental Value, Joachim Trier. Uh, I wouldn't say he's like a Spielberg or anything like that, but and I don't know anything about his personal life, but I feel like maybe he made this film in response to what it feels like to actually make a film, make a career out of filmmaking, and how that might hurt his
Hmm.
ties with his family.
Uh,
That's how I see it, at
Maybe
least.
I saw it more as it's literally just about, because you could have a father who's not present regardless of whether he's in film or not. Like there's other careers
True.
that could take you away, or not even that. Maybe some people are just workaholics and don't spend time with their family as is. Even if it's not
True.
necessarily career necessary or necessary for their career to be gone or absent for an extended period of time. So that's kind of what I thought was the backbone of the movie. Now, the way the movie deals with it, which is really the movie is about, I'd say reconciliation. between
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
dad played by Stellan Skarsgård and his two daughters. That is embodied by the structure of he can only, we find different ways to express ourselves or articulate emotions, and in his case it's film, you know and that's kind
Right.
of what the movie is getting at, is this tension, and he can only really express what he's feeling through film because that's his creative outlet.
Yeah. Well, before we recorded, I was gonna, as you know, like we were trying to record this for a while,
It's true.
and the hesitation was like I really wanted to rewatch it, and
Also true.
that's kind of praising the film because I think I missed so much because, like J. Kelly, it explores a lot of themes and topics, but it's done so much gracefully and so much more naturally that I feel like I didn't quite. It's almost like the film was almost, I don't want to say too challenging, but I feel like I would have benefited from a second watch knowing what to expect. Because if you remember, it kind of very briefly touches on, like generational trauma.
I don't know if I would say
The
briefly. I'd say it still has it.
sorry, I'm
Still,
yeah, it's generational trauma heavily. What I meant to say was briefly touches on, how do I word this? Like the main actress is experiencing
mhm.
stage fright because she's like a
Yeah.
theater actress, and kind of how she deals with that part of her life. Um, you have multiple different characters who are dealing with different things. We haven't even talked about Elle Fanning's character in the film, who like was also like a big aspect of the
Hmm.
story, and how Skarsgård hiring her is also kind of ruining the film in some ways. I guess what I'm trying to say is the movie tackles so much, and it's not overwhelming. It's just so challenging, and just so much happens that I wanted to kind of watch it again and appreciate it more now that I know what to expect.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah,
I
but I mean, I enjoyed it. I another film that we saw of him that we both seen together was The Worst
yeah,
Person in the World, and I feel like Joachim Trier is kind of, yeah. I mean, he's a fantastic film
yeah. I
director.
think I think this is
He
the
is,
one that kind of for international audiences put him on the map. Or maybe no. Let
yeah.
me rephrase that, for Western audiences. Put him on the
Mm.
map. I think he's already been considered a good filmmaker in Europe and perhaps other parts of the world
Right.
as well. But this was definitely I mean, thankfully, I had already seen Worst Person in the World. I was already aware of who he was, and so it was like when I saw he was coming out with a new film, I already had interest. But most people, I don't think, have seen any of his films before this, and this is like the one that feels like is breaking through, and like this is kind of his entry, his gateway to American audiences. And
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
interesting to me because this feels, I'm trying to think how to articulate this. I feel like Worst Person in the World has a slightly more, I want to say mature subject matter, because both of them have mature subject matter, but it does, there's not like a really easy, well, I wouldn't even say easy, like a nice, like clear conclusion to that film, whereas I feel like there's a pretty firm conclusion in Sentimental Value. Do we want to talk about the ending or no?
Um, yeah, I feel like it's not really spoily. I
Just
mean,
in
it is,
case you're the
but
one person in this world who cares about film and who has not seen Sentimental Value yet, this is your spoiler warning. Spoiler
spoiler
warning.
warning.
I think the film basically, in my estimation, ends with him being successful in using what is ostensibly his comeback film, kind of from an off career. He's a famous director and wants to like make a new film and writes a part specifically for his daughter, who's a stage actress at the time, and she initially turns it down. There's back and forth. He hires another actress, blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, she ends up agreeing to take the part. And after realizing with her sister that he wrote the part for her because it was to express something he didn't really have words to express, he needed to do it through art, in his case, film. And
Right.
it felt like the conclusion of the film isn't like, oh, necessarily everything's okay, you know, between him and her, but that they've made a breakthrough in terms of communication, you know? So
Yeah.
It felt much more conclusive in that regard to me than, say, Worst Person in the World.
I think that's another thing why I wanted to watch the movie again too, because maybe you could agree with me or not, but I feel like it's a very psychologically driven, the film, because every character, the three main characters of the family, the three main characters from the family, they all kind of have their own internal struggles that they're dealing with, and it's not really communicated. You know, it's not like they're saying like, "Oh, I have this," but it's told through their interactions and like the results that they decide to do. That I feel like
it's a really well
masterfully
done example of show not tell.
Yeah, exactly. That's a perfect way of putting it, actually.
Because
Um,
so were you?
Well, I was gonna say too. I also appreciate how. I was gonna say the film really feels like very much like Worst Person in the World. Joachim Trier. I'm probably butchering his name too. I'm not even sure if I'm saying it right, but
sorry, Joachim.
I feel like I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But I feel like he's really just kind of flexing his acting chops here in every way. Like the house, the interior designing, which I know is not his department, but more specifically there's a point where we're watching a film that Skarsgård directed years ago, which moves Elle Fanning so much that she agrees to take on the role. I remember watching that scene. I'm like, what exactly is this? That kind of felt like a flex, like he was just trying a period piece. And then in the film, he talks about what the final scene of his movie is going to be, which is a long take of an ambiguous ending of whether the mother kills herself or not. I'm not sure if it was meant to be ambiguous or not. But then we actually see that scene happen as if they were filming it. And I thought it was just really cool. I thought it was just kind of him just kind of showing off his directing skills.
Well, I mean, we do know, like in the film's real life, so to speak, the character's background, that his mother did, like they do acknowledge that she killed herself. So I think that it's intimated that in his script that he writes about it, that character who represents his mom in a way also kills herself.
Right. I could have sworn there was a conversation though where they're like, "Oh, does she actually kill herself?" I could be wrong though. Like I said, it's been a while since I've actually seen it, and I wanted to watch it again, but that's my fault. My fault.
For sure. I'm pretty sure, and I'm just looking it up. Yeah, I don't. It's not that she. Yeah, she died of suicide. And that they do say that. They do say that. So in the film.
Cool.
Yeah. What did you get sentimental?
Control pause.
Watching it?
That's the thing. Not really. What I remember from the movie was actually kind of like the small moments of comedy and I guess what's
action, drama,
catharsis. Is that the word? No, not that. But like, what comes to mind was the scene where she's like, "Oh, this is Skarsgård to Elle Fanning. This is the stool or the chair that she killed herself on. Killed herself in." And then it's revealed that the chair was actually bought from IKEA, presumably, like not that long ago. So that was like, it was like moments like that I thought was funny. At the end, Skarsgård ends up in the hospital, and I think the nurse asks if he wants water, and he's like, "Oh, can I get something bubbly, like champagne or something?" And then the sisters are like laughing about that. It's not necessarily like
it's
a
kind
sad
of a dramedy,
movie.
I'd say.
Yeah, it's a dramedy. Yeah, there's comedy sprinkled in the film for sure.
No, it all
Yeah.
feels the film feels very natural, like with the dialogue. Like it all feels
Yeah.
organic, and nothing feels forced. Nothing feels just written for the screen for the purpose of writing for the screen. I agree. I do have to point out, talking about comedy. This was a little comedic to me that the crack in the house is never really fully addressed at the end of the movie. I just found that, pretty unrealistic. I feel like most people would be concerned. Now, whether you want to spend the entire movie talking about the crack is another matter, but I do think that crack needs to be taken care of.
Yeah, I agree 100%. But again, going back to the point where like I kind of wished I saw this again because I'm like, what's
you're thinking maybe
sure,
the crack was patched up at a scene in the movie. Maybe you blinked and missed it.
No, not that. Well, maybe because at the end of the movie they do remodel the house, presumably to sell it to finance.
You're right.
That's why I kind of wish like if I saw it again, there's a point. Ultimately, is there's a lot to dig deep in.
Well, we probably will both see it again, given that it's Best Picture nominee, which we're getting to the Oscar nomination soon. But I think it's definitely worth seeing. I gave it a 9 of 10. What did you give it?
I gave it an 8.
Weak,
but I could see. But I might bump it up to 9 because, like I said, there's so much to dissect. And I told you I saw during the Christmas season or the holiday season, rather, whatever. Christmas vacation. I saw Weapons when it first came out. How many months ago? However many
August
months ago that was.
Out?
August, and then I saw it basically twice in Christmas because my parents saw it, and then my dad loved it so much that he showed it to my aunts and cousins, and basically we watched it like 2 days in a row. My point is, I feel like watching with certain movies, watching it more than once is the true way to actually experience a movie. Because I know for sure I missed a lot in this movie because it tackles so much that I will appreciate it on a second watch. I do have a question before we move over. Though.
I have one too, but go for it.
Okay. The scene that the main daughter, she's about to perform and she gets stage fright. If you remember, there's like a theme song that plays out. Do you know where that's from or no?
Not off the top of my head, no.
Okay, it's from The Shining,
okay.
And I thought I bring that up because I'm like, what's the why are they playing the theme song to The Shining? I'm like, are they doing like a stage production of The Shining? It turns out it's not, but I think it's kind of funny that it plays that theme song.
It is strange. I don't know why.
I'm not reading into it too heavily. It's just
hidden Shining crossover and Sentimental Value.
Mm-hmm.
I was just gonna say before we wrap up, was there any what would you say is holding you back from it being a masterpiece?
It really comes down to kind of personal matters.
Hit a little too close to home.
Again, I feel like
your father abandoned you for a film career.
No, not necessarily. And granted, I'm saying this after seeing it once. And you know how I am. I like to kind of base my ratings off the director's previous work. I think
but
I think because I thought You're the Worst Person in the World, or The Worst Person in the World, rather, not you. is I thought that was like masterful directing. I feel like Sentimental Value kind of falls short. But again, I will admit I went into the movie thinking it was leaving soon, so I caught it not really in the mood to watch a movie that day. So I wasn't quite in the mood to actually sit down and appreciate the film.
That's fair. It is art. Sometimes you interpret it only through the lens of what you're experiencing that day or when you watch it. So I agree.
Exactly.
For me, it's more of a difference in opinion. I don't care for the editing style. It's very sharp. When a scene ends, it ends. It cuts to black, goes to the next scene. There's not it just feels very sharp. So it kind of kept jarring me a little bit. It took me out of the movie at times because of how sharp the cuts were. That's admittedly somewhat more of just a difference of opinion, as I just don't care for that editing style. That necessarily something wrong with the film itself, but I didn't like it quite to the point where I would be like full on masterpiece, partially because of that. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Anyway.
Yeah, totally.
Well,
I'm surprised that Stellan Skarsgård, I feel like he's getting more and more, I guess, noticeable this late in his career, because I didn't really know who he was.
I think he's also kind of always been like one of those, like, is well known for more dramatic stuff overseas, and has been more like bit parts or supporting roles in American films, you know. So this is, I think, kind of, which I should note, like one of the, it's not like super unique, but a unique thing in the film is has a good chunk of dialogue in English in addition to Norwegian. So you can, you know, everybody can follow along fine. Everybody can get subtitles. Anyway, it was interesting because most of the film required subtitles for me, and some of the film didn't. So it's just interesting seeing the difference. Anyway,
sure.
So Stellan Skarsgård, he's having a moment. So is his kids, for that matter. I mean, Bill is one of his sons. Bill is haunting the small screen, reprising his role as Pennywise the dancing clown. We got Alex Skarsgård. He was just in a film that I've yet to see. That's with the name's escaping me. It's about
Dead Man's Wire.
Oh, that too. Yeah, that one's coming up. There's another film that he was just in.
Yeah,
Hillian? That's the one. Yeah,
never
that's
heard of this one.
It looked interesting. Anyway, that's for another day.
Isn't there a third one?
Probably. I mean, they're busy. The point is, the Skarsgårds are they're keeping busy. They're having a moment. Basically, this is the era of Skarsgård. Yeah,
indeed.
Yeah,
indeed. So yeah, apparently there's a third one. His name is Walter Skarsgård. Unless this is
I thought you were talking. I thought you were talking. Is there a third movie with Alex Skarsgård that was out recently?
No,
that's what you were referring to.
I'm referring to a third son.
There is a third son. I could have told you that, but he's not. He's not as well known as his brothers. Yeah,
it doesn't seem like it.
He's the black sheep of the family. Probably not. So yeah, sentimental value 9 out of 10. You gave it an 8 with the potential for it to go up upon a rewatch.
Yep.
Sentimental Value is one of the nominees for Best Picture, and the nominations from the Academy were announced this past Thursday. Any surprises in the Best Picture category for you?
Yeah, actually, totally. I'm pulling up the list right now.
I already have it.
Are we going to go category through? Are we going category through category, or are we just going to like kind of?
I think we're just do a quick overview of category by category, because we can go further into, you know, what we think is like, of those, like what we really think is the best picture, and here's why. I think this is more just kind of like a snapshot of like, oh, kind of surprised this person didn't get in for X reason, surprised this person got in for this reason, so etc.
Well, the two main nominees for Best Picture that kind of like caught me off guard was F1. I never like would have thought that, and also I feel like this was the year for foreign films. I feel like there was quite a bit of them, to the point where I thought like there would have been like 4 nominees up there. Turns out that wasn't the case. I thought maybe from like internet conversations, and it sounded like Sarat might have had potential to be up there. It was Just an Accident might have been up there too. I know you haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to say right now, I think the worst one of the foreign films is nominated for Best Picture, which turns out to be Secret Agent.
Sentimental Value is a foreign film too.
Right, that's one of them. But Secret Agent,
Oh,
I
of the
feel like,
remaining, yeah,
that could have been, yeah, that could have been, it was just an accident. Could have been replaced there. What else? I know you haven't seen it yet, but I think Surratt would have been a fun choice up
yeah.
there too. So the two surprises for me were Secret Agent
Well,
and
surprising. I told
F1.
Jose this earlier. Like Surratt, like I didn't even know existed until like about 3 weeks ago. Saw a trailer for
Yeah,
it on Letterboxd, and yeah, it looks very interesting. And Jose gives it glowing reviews, so I'm sure we'll talk about that at some point soon. Um, but yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
So I agree. Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, interesting. I mean, no other choice. You didn't mention that. That would be another top foreign contender that I thought might have had a chance to get in.
Yeah, same.
Especially it's
Which,
very in terms of its tone, very Parasite esque, and obviously everybody loved Parasite. So
mhm.
anyway,
Yeah, that director, Park Chan Wook, he's never like quite got recognized here, and at least not with the Academy. But he's made Old Boy, didn't get recognized for anything. Um, Handmaiden's another great movie
yeah.
that it's always on like IMDb's top 250. Didn't get recognized, but
Which we can talk about
maybe
no other
someday.
choice at another point. But to be fair, I don't
Yeah,
think that
let's.
was Best Picture worthy. I have
Okay,
not seen
fair.
Secret Agent, so I'll probably feel the same way about Secret Agent, but we'll find out. So for me, I agree. F1 was really kind of random. I heard a little bit of buzz for it being a potential Best Picture nominee like a week before the nominations came out. So I don't know if they just really Apple and Warner Brothers really pushed it, for nominations and for awards recognition, and maybe people were like, oh, it took the spot that would have ordinarily been reserved for like Avatar as like kind of the conventional crowd
Yeah,
pleaser blockbuster. There's always one, it seems like, in the Academy, which
yeah.
F1 is very fun and entertaining, but it I wouldn't say it blows you away to the point of it being considered the best film of the year. Um,
It's a one time watch for me, but in theaters. So if you didn't catch in theaters, it's kind of I wouldn't say
it
it's
won't have the same. It
useless,
won't
but
have the same impact. It's definitely one of those you enjoy it. You
yeah,
either have a home theater of your own, or you see it in theaters. That's it.
yeah, exactly.
Begonia really surprised me too. That got on there.
Same. Um, I am surprised, but I am kind of understanding why it's there, just because they seem to really love Yorgos Lanthimos. Uh,
Guys of
which
Kindness
I don't
didn't get
know. It's
nominated though, right?
But that's a weird one. That's like an anthology, Like there's like a like I don't know. I don't know. I guess I'm kind of lost
Yeah.
too that that's nominated. I'm not mad that it's there, but it's
I
interesting.
feel like I'm mad, but we can get into the reasons why I'm mad later on. Just know I'm not happy. Although Emma Stone is great in that role, in that film, as she always is. Yeah, go ahead.
It's funny. I was listening to the third episode that we did, and we both said that we both predicted that she wasn't going to get nominated. I think it's really funny, and here she is.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that
Whatever.
momentarily. Yeah. So Frankenstein was actually a pleasant surprise to me. I didn't think that was gonna get nominated, but it did, and I'm glad it did.
I'm sur- I'm surprised who got directing. I thought he was gonna get director, but yeah,
Not have
yeah, Sentimental
we're
Value,
getting
which is a nice.
we're getting to the directors in a moment. Let's finish running through the best pictures.
Let's get them.
Frankenstein was a little surprising. Hamnet didn't really surprise me just based on the buzz and kind of lead up to it. I like Hamnet, but not again to the point where I would say it's best picture. Marty Supreme, kind of I'd say that's probably like the latest entry to it. I mean, it came out on Christmas. I don't think there was another one that really made a wide release at that point. So
Yeah,
Marty Supreme and Marty's, yeah,
that one's. I mean, that one's kind of surprising too,
really,
considering that the Saf, um, just because the Safdie brothers never got
I
recognized.
see what you mean.
This would be the one to be.
Yeah,
Yeah, this one would be the one to
yeah.
get recognized.
From a
I think I'm
Safdie
more
bro,
surprised
not a
that Saf.
Safdie brothers.
Right. I know we're going to talk about directing soon, but I think I'm more surprised that he actually got a directing nomination. But we'll talk about that in a second.
Then we One Battle After Another. That one's kind of, I feel like since it came out, that's been like the one considered the hands-on favorite for Best Picture.
Yep. Well, Sinners.
Well,
maybe too,
yeah.
actually.
So we'll get to that in a moment too. I feel my guess is I think it's still going to be One Battle After Another because it will be kind of PTA's moment, kind of like Christopher Nolan was due, a couple of years ago with Oppenheimer. This will be his moment too. Secret Agent, we already talked about that. I still have yet to see it. I will be hopefully seeing it soon, and then we will delve deeper into our thoughts about that. We already mentioned Sentimental Value, which I think is very worthy. Sinners, to your point. Sinners, I gotta say that kind of annoyed me that it got nominated. Sinners is very entertaining and fun, but like that's all it is to me. It's very similar to F1 in that regard. It's like they're here, but why are they really here? Are they just here because you want blockbuster friendly picks? To show that you're not just a bunch of elitist film critics.
It was the crowd pleaser for sure. Similar to F1, as you said.
Absolutely. Hey, good for Warner Brothers. They got 3 nominations on there. Well, I guess
they're going. I guess
F1. Yeah, I guess F1 is kind of theirs. It's technically more so Apple, but close enough. Train Dreams, which I have yet to see, but plan on watching this week. That's kind of that's kind of the wild card for me. I feel like I can see that one going up in my favorite list. So we will talk more about the Best Picture nominees in the coming days. Best Director on the list, Hamnet with Chloe Zhao really kind of took me by surprise. I don't know if it was with you.
I just because she's won before, I could see why she's on there. This might sound a little controversial, but
trigger warning.
They always have to get the female token up there. So yeah,
that's true. And they shut out Catherine Bigelow, and so it's good.
I'm trying to think. Was there another film directed by a female?
That was
there has been, but
there have been other movies directed by female.
But I can't think of one that was like, what I'm saying, like best director.
Yeah, no, I gotcha. Not off the top of my head, honestly. It that might change. Maybe there's something we're forgetting about that everybody will be going like, why was this not? No.
Well, how about this? I think I would have liked to see Eva Victor from Sorry Baby.
Oh, yes, that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, that would have been a good one.
Yeah, that one was kind of a surprising stuff, especially given that that's her first film. Like, for
director.
I agree.
Director, acting, and writing, maybe?
Definitely writing. Writing, in my opinion. We already talked about Marty Supreme, the Safdie. One half of the Safdie bros who aren't really a team anymore. They don't like each other. Well, that's just speculation. No. I'm joking. I'm sure they like each other. They just want to do other things.
And now one hates the other
exactly.
one more.
I will say, of the 2 Safdie movies that came out this year, Marty Supreme definitely is the one. And I say Best Director. That's good. That movie is very well done. It pulls you in and keeps you gripped to the screen the entire length of its runtime. One Battle After Another, kind of same thing. Yeah, it might win it. Same thing. It kind of keeps you grip to it. It's a little bit less accessible than, like, say, Marty Supreme or Sentimental Value, but that doesn't take away from its quality.
Right.
Sentimental Value, we've already talked about. I agree with that. Sinners, basically everything I said about the movie entirely also applies to the nomination for Ryan Coogler. And I'm going to be basically copying and pasting that statement with almost all of the categories to come, since it had 16 nominations, which is crazy. But hey, good for them.
I thought it was 15.
16. It's a new record.
But it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It broke the record.
New record.
Yep, it broke the record.
Anything more to say on Best Director?
No.
Best Actor. Really no surprises for me, even if I disagree with some of them. Timothée Chalamet, obviously, he's been really pushing it, and he's really good. He definitely deserves to be in the mix for it. It's so far, I think, his greatest role. Leo, Leo's great in it. I don't know if I would take him over, like, say, Timothée Chalamet, but I wouldn't be upset if he walked away with it.
We'll continue going through the list, and I'll kind of give
Ethan Hawke in Blue
in
Moon, which I have not seen. Have you? So we're both.
I might watch it tonight.
Yeah, we'll have to watch it at some point soonish. Michael B. Jordan in Sinners. It's kind of really of a cheat, since he's playing two characters. Technically, he should be in Best Supporting Actors. Not Best Actor. No.
Can you imagine two
nominations? Michael B. Jordan's good. Again, I think that movie's overhyped. It's fun, but it's not like the greatest thing ever.
But he is one of the best parts about the movie, though, I will say. You don't think so?
I think he's good. Here's my problem as we get into also going down. One of the actors I think does better than him, who is nominated for Best Supporting. And then there's another actor who I would say is more of like a main actor in the narrative, who got snubbed. And I think that person that actor was fantastic, especially considering it was his first role.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good point.
So
good point.
That's my deal. Wagner Moura and The Secret Agent. I've heard good buzz about him. As the only one who's seen that, would you say that's a good call or a bad call?
I don't know who else I'd put up there. He was good. I wouldn't say it like blew me away, but I'm not mad he's up there, What I was going to say is based off what I've seen and what I've read, it sounds like it could really go to any four of them, except for Michael B. Jordan being the fifth, who probably would get it. But, Wagner Moura got the Golden Globe this year. I've heard Ethan Hawke might actually be the one to win it. Plus, it sounds like it's one of those trophy awards, celebrating his career.
Yeah.
I feel like Leo
already had an award.
This might be his best role.
Yeah, but he's already had an award.
But but this is he's already has an award, but probably his best role. And then Timothée Chalamet, I feel like he's been up there for a long time, but he's never gotten it. So
sure.
I don't know. I feel it could be any four of them.
Okay. Moving on to Best Actress, Jessie Buckley in Hamnet. Sure, she's great. Do feel like it's a little Oscar baity, but if you're good, you're good, and she's good. So, Rose Byrne and If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. I still need to watch that. Have you seen it?
I thought it was on HBO Max already, but it's not. So I have to wait for it.
Yeah, we have to watch that too. Kate Hudson in Song Sung Blue. Sure. She's good, but I don't know. That movie could have been more, is all I'll say, and it kind of is not. So I feel like I don't know. I feel like there's, even though one doesn't immediately come to mind, I feel like there were probably more deserving actresses out there.
Absolutely. Again, Eva Victor, I think she could have been up there.
Yeah.
From,
you're right.
Sorry, Baby.
Renee Rainsfay, I think it is, or Rainsfay.
I looked this up. Renate
Renz. Okay. Yeah, Renate Renz.
It's a weird one.
And Sentimental Value. Definitely agree with that. Good for her. Keep it up. She's probably my my pick. But we can go into that later. Emma Stone and Begonia, to what you alluded to, we thought she wouldn't get, and there she is, proving us wrong yet again. She really is. I mean, she really is, in my opinion, the best actress working right now. So
I agree.
Fully deserved. Even if it was a movie I didn't care for, ultimately.
I think I'd like to see Renate get it. I think Jessie Buckley is going to win it. Out of all the nominations, I'm a little upset that Song Sung Blue got one because I saw the poster, I saw the clips, and I'm like, I'm definitely not going to watch that. And now I might have to watch that.
Looks like you have to. We all have to watch things we don't want, Jose.
Not rushing to it, but I probably will at some point.
Best supporting actor, Benicio del Toro, One Battle After Another. Sure. I mean, he's great. Here's the problem, though. Sean Penn, who's also nominated, is much better and in more of the movie than Benicio del Toro. And Sean Penn is my favorite part of the movie. He's insane. Like, it's one of the, I think, the great modern examples of chewing scenery, because he absolutely chews the scenery out of every scene he's in. He is, I mean, you could, unless I knew, if I hadn't known going in that Sean Penn was in the movie, I wouldn't have known it was Sean Penn. Like, he's that good and convincing to be something completely different, really, than any of the other roles he's had. He's great. Best part of the movie.
I agree.
And deserves it. Which is not to say, look, Jacob Elordi and Frankenstein, fine with the nomination, but I wouldn't say it holds a candle to, say, Sean Penn or even Benicio del Toro. Delroy Lindo and Sinners, like we kind of alluded to. That's a solid one. I'm okay with that. Stellan Skarsgård and Sentimental Value. I think it's really, honestly, probably between Sean Penn and Stellan Skarsgård. Both excellent. Skarsgård, might have the it's time to recognize him factor working in his favor. Even though I think Sean Penn deserves it.
I think that's what's going to happen. I agree with you. I think I would like. Going back to Benicio del Toro. I think he also chews it up too. He's such in that movie. I feel in my mind, I'm like Benicio del Toro's like, I have nothing to prove anymore. I'm one of the best. I'm just going to kind of phone it in. But I feel like in return, we get like a really fantastic kind of lazy performance. I'm not saying he's doing it lazily, but like that's kind of what it feels like watching it. It feels like he is chewing it up in different ways. Yeah. That Sean Penn is. I'm not sure if that makes sense.
I hear you. I hear you. I think the thing is too, though, like Sean Penn is in some ways the literal reason the movie's plot exists. Like he's that central of a character to the narrative. In addition to be hilarious and entertaining.
I would like to see Sean Penn win, but I think it will go to Skarsgård just because I think Penn's won twice already. At least
Skarsgård. At least I won't be upset, if it goes to him. But he really deserves it. Sean Penn really deserves it. Best supporting actress, Ellie Fanning in Sentimental Value. I'm on board with that. So is her co-star, which I'll probably botch the name, Inga Ipsdotter Lilias.
I have no idea.
Yeah, they're both good. They're both great. I would be okay with that.
Is this Elon Musk's daughter?
Yeah. I would be okay with that. Except there's the next one on the list is, I think, hands down the best supporting actress of the year, Amy Madigan in Weapons. She's great.
So that's a really, really fun one that she's in. I'm so happy.
Yeah, it is. That. I know. I saw a nice thing about her and Ed Harris because she's married to Ed Harris. And he was talking about how it's like her first moment where she's gotten like really recognized to like the same degree he has in the past. And he was just talking about like how it's like been an experience for her, because now she's going through it and having all this extra attention, all the different award shows having to show up for them, like he has in the past in his career. So it was just a sweet, nice thing to see him loving on his wife.
Well, I was gonna say I don't recognize her from anything until like I'm looking at her filmography. Uncle Buck, Field of Dreams, Streets of like I haven't heard of.
You've
any
never
of these.
heard of Field of Dreams? Wait. You've
No.
never heard of Field? You're pulling my leg.
I'm looking at it. I don't know. It's probably one of those like classics.
You're pulling my leg.
went on my
Stop
radar.
Stop.
No, I promise you. I'm looking at it now. I'm like, yeah, Ray Liotta, James Earl Jones. Never heard of it.
Well, folks, we're gonna forgive Jose for that. He's gonna go watch Field of Dreams as soon as this episode concludes.
Oh, this is a baseball movie. Okay, you know me.
It was
I don't
also
watch
a
that
baseball
stuff.
movie that was nominated for Best Picture, Best Original Score, and Best Adapted Screenplay. It's also a very
Really?
quotable movie. It's like it's been parodied in The Simpsons and a bunch of other pop culture stuff too. How you miss this is beyond me.
Well, I'll be damned. I don't know.
You should
Never heard of it.
watch it. It's a baseball movie, yes, but it's not about baseball.
Right. Okay. I'll give it a watch.
Anyway, I highly recommend, especially Rip James Earl Jones. I know it's a little late, but R.I.P. Another one of his great roles. Anyway, Amy Madigan, fully deserving. She's crazy in Weapons, which is perfect. Awesome. Wunmi Mosaku in Sinners. She's good. I wouldn't say like that. That's like the bottom of the barrel for me of all the nominations.
Yeah.
Nominees. Tiana Taylor and One Bow After Another. She's good. I wouldn't be that upset if she won it, but I think the first three are so much stronger compared to her nomination. So
I feel like there's always one like acting award that's given because they have like one good scene, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like this year it's Wunmi Mosako's because
that's a good.
It's that one scene where she's like, get inside or whatever, which is like not a big deal, but that's the only scene I remember her like kind of, that's the only part where she stood out in the movie for me. And it's not even like a huge performance part. It's just like a part in the story that was exciting. So I don't know. Not really. I agree.
Sure.
Bottom of the barrel for me.
So that kind of covers it. Why don't we, because I don't want to run too much longer here. Why don't we just do a quick, well, actually, why don't we cut off there and we'll get more into the nominations in full once we've seen all kind of the nominees that we think are relevant, and then we can go a little bit more into detail about why we think this film should be placed here or why this film got snubbed, etc. We can do that next time.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm down for that.
Okay.
All right.
All
cool.
right. Any last words, Jose?
All right. I will watch Field of Dreams. Probably not tonight.
And
but at some
I
point.
will watch Train Dreams. Yeah,
Hey,
look at that.
look at that.
We're both going to be watching movies that have dreams in them. I will not be watching it tonight either, but I will be watching it sometime this week.
Okay, that was my next question. How about we wrap things with are going to watch anything tonight or maybe tomorrow night, or what's the next thing you might watch?
It's so funny enough.
Anything.
I might watch Mean Girls tonight, the original, because it's leaving Netflix soon, and I've been wanting to watch it for a while. So I might do that. I also might not. I might watch that later in the week. But I know for sure I'll be watching Train Dreams at some point this week. 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's see. I don't know what I'm going to watch today. I'm debating between Blue Moon
And Field of Dreams.
and that's not tonight. So weirdly enough, I might watch Disney's Beauty and the Beast because I took my mom to go watch Lion King
Animated
Broadway,
or
and we had
live
such a good
action
time that we
version?
might watch. Live action. Or sorry, no, no, animated.
Jose Mendoza prefers the live action Beauty and the Beast.
I'm trying to watch them all. Okay. No, my mom and I went to go see the Broadway Lion King, and we might try to catch the Beauty and the Beast when it's here in San Francisco. So yeah, I might try to give myself a little refresher, see, because I don't really remember a lot about that.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it too. Not a bad popcorn pick. You watch Beauty and the Beast, I'll watch Mean Girls. Perfect pair.
Two very similar movies.
You know, cool. I mean, they both have female leads.
And that's enough.
Yeah. Signing off for Popcorn and Pictures.
Signing off.
See the next episode in your inbox soon.